Good morning, students. I welcome all of you to my online classes. I hope you all are good, fine and happy. तो आज आम नवम श्रेणीर इंग्राजी बही जो अच्छी स्किल्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेटिव इंग्लिश प्रथम प्रोज द प्राइसलेस गिफ्ट आम पढ़ा बुझे आउ गोटे कथा पिला माने जो पिला माने चैनल रे नुआ आसुछ प्लीज जदि नवम एवं दशम श्रेणीर वीडियो पसंद आसुची देन प्लीज सब्सक्राइब माय चैनल ओके। तो देखिबा आमे प्रथमे लाउड रीडिंग करबा पिला माने तमे पेंसिल बाहर कर एवं डिफिकल्ट प्रोनाउंसिएशंस को तमे पेपर रे लिखि पकेबो। मु थरे पढी दोची फर्स्ट बुझिल। तो देखो आमे पढिबा सो लिसन माइंडफुली द प्राइसलेस गिफ्ट। Do you like to offer some gift to somebody on his or her birthday, wedding, or some special occasion? What sort of things would you like to give? Discuss about it with your classmate. Why does a small gift become so valuable? What do you see when you enter a restaurant? Read this interesting story. The priceless gift here, priceless means something which has high value because it is rare. Match your points of discussion with these descriptions. Okay. तो देखिबा हमें पढ़िबा तो प्राइसलेस गिफ्ट विषय रे। तो पिला माने पेंसिल तमे बाहर करो एवं जो डिफिकल्ट प्रोनाउंसिएशंस अछि तमे साइड रे लिखि पकाओ। फर्स्ट मु पढ़ी दोची थरे बुझिला। So listen mindfully. I went to a vegetarian restaurant. It was lunch time. There were people eating and drinking. The restaurant was very crowded. I saw that some of the chairs and table had been pushed into a corner. I chose the corner table, seated myself, and started skimming through the newspaper. At that moment, I noticed a very young girl looking at me. Her eyes were large and they had a sad expression. As she was going out, she asked the cashier in a low voice, "Is that gentleman an Indian?" "I think so," the cashier replied. The girl looked at me once more and went out. It surprised me. Why? What was the matter? Her interest in me aroused my curiosity in her. When I had finished my lunch, I asked the waiter, "Do you know the girl who was sitting out there?" "No, sir. I notice she has lunch here on Saturdays. She comes on payday only. Perhaps she does not earn much." I was moved by what he said. The curiosity I felt about the girl persisted. Why had she inquired about me? Who was the mysterious child? I kept thinking of her poverty-stricken and sad. I kept thinking of her poverty-stricken, sad, anxious figure. Could I help her in any way? The week passed. Saturday came again. I went to the same restaurant. As I entered, I saw her sitting at the same table as before. She was eating. I went up to her and took the chair opposite hers. I wished her a good afternoon, and then, by making one brief remark after another, I was able to start a conversation. At last she asked, "Are you an Indian? My brother is in India. He is a soldier. We have not had a letter from him for a long time. My mother is very worried. She is afraid something has happened to him." I learned that her only guardian was her brother. She lived with her old widowed mother, Mrs. Betty. I understood how she felt. I think she wanted me to see her mother, but she did not have the courage to. Yes. I think she wanted me to see her mother, but she did not have the courage to ask me to accompany her home. We finished our lunch and got up together. As we walked, I asked her, "May I know your name?" "My name is Maggie." We chatted pleasantly and soon reached a bus stand. This gave me the opportunity of asking her where she worked. "Do you usually go this way?" I asked. "No," she answered. "I usually take the village bridge. It is being repaired at the moment." Soon we approached the neighborhood. We had reached a narrow doorway. Maggie took a thin latch key out of her pocket and opened the door. She entered and said, "Please come in." Together we descended the stair to the kitchen. Mother, said Maggie from the doorway, "An Indian gentleman has come to see you." "Where is he?" the old man asked eagerly. With a smile, I stepped into the kitchen behind Maggie. She introduced us. "How do you do?" I sat and held out my hand. "Excuse me, my hands are covered with flour. I am making cakes. People will come to buy this evening. This is the way we make our living. Lots of trouble." Saturday night is a time of festivity in poor neighborhoods. All kinds of things are sold on this night. The streets are more crowded than any other day. This is the day when they are able to spend a little from their weekly wages. "What kind of country is India, sir?" asked Mrs. Bethy as she resumed her cooking. "A beautiful country, safe to live in. Are not there too many snakes and tigers? Do not they kill people?" This type of question has often been asked. Do not believe that snakes and tigers are killed by people if they come too close. My son is in Punjab. He is a soldier. What kind of place is Punjab? The Punjab is a fine place. It is a very healthy place to live in. I am glad to hear it, Mrs. Bethy said. Her baking was finished. "Maggie," she said, "take Mr. Gupta upstairs. I will wash my hands and bring tea." As we drank tea, I talked about India. Mrs. Bethy showed me a photograph of her son. It had been kept very neatly in an envelope by the mother. His name was Frankie. Maggie said Mrs. Bethy, "So, Mr. Gupta, the ring which your brother sent you?" She brought it and asked, "Can you see the past and future in it?" I took it and examined it. When Frankie sent the ring, Mrs. Bethy said, he wrote that if you concentrate on a distant person, as you gaze into it, you will be able to see him and what he is doing. We have not had any news from Frankie for a long time, but we have not been able to see anything. Why don't you try? You are an Indian. You may be able to do it. I did not have the heart to tell the mother and daughter that the ring was nothing much, not a miraculous thing from a distant land. How could I shatter their dream? Several months passed. I visited Maggie and Mrs. Bethy, but no news had come from Frankie. Mrs. Bethy was sick, in a serious condition, aggravated by her anxiety for Frankie. I was in a fix. What could I say to console the mother? Only God knew whether Frankie was still alive or dead. "Mr. Gupta," the girl said, "my mother has not been ill like this before. I have read in books that Indians love the truth. if you could bring yourself to the if you could bring yourself to tell mother only once after looking into the crystal that Frankie is all right, that is, that he is alive, will it be too much of a lie? Will it be very wrong? I thought it over. I am not a very virtuous man. I thought it over. I am not a very virtuous man, so I decided to do this, the list of my offenses. Maggie brought me the ring. I took it and approached her mother's beside, wishing her a good morning. I said, Mrs. Betty, your son is alive. He is well. The old man raised her head a little off the pillow. Tears of happiness well up in her eyes. Mrs. Betty soon recovered. बुझेगा पिलामाने तमे प्रोनाउंसिएशन को पेपर रे लिखि पकाओ जो डिफिकल्ट प्रोनाउंसिएशन अछि किंबा अंडरलाइन करि पकाओ. It was almost time for me to return to India. I wished to go to say goodbye to Maggie and her mother, but the family was in mourning. Frankie had been killed in the fighting on the frontier. I calculated and found that Frankie had been dead some days when I told his mother he was alive and well. I felt ashamed to face Mrs. Betty, so I wrote a letter to them announcing my departure and bidding them goodbye. The morning of my last day in London dawned. I was to leave that night. As I was having my breakfast, there was a knock at the door. Maggie had come to say goodbye. She was wearing black. Are you leaving today? She asked. Yes, I replied. Today is the day of my departure. How long will it take to reach your country? In which part of the country do you live? She wanted to know. I have entered the Punjab service. I shall not know exactly where I am posted until I arrive there. Is the frontier very far from there? No, not very. Frankie is buried near the frontier. The girl's eyes filled with tears as she spoke. When I go to that part of the country, I shall visit your brother's grave and write to you. Maggie's face filled with gratitude as she thanked me. Her voice choked. She took a shilling out of her pocket, saying, Please buy flowers with this when you go and lay them on my brother's grave for me. In my emotion, I lowered my eyes. The child had on a shilling with so much toil. I felt like returning it to it, explaining that in our country flowers grow in great profusion. But I consider why should I deprive her of the joy this sacrifice would give her. She was foregoing so much for love of her brother. The joy of doing it was beyond all price. The grief in her heart would be eased a little. I picked up the shilling. Maggie, I said, I shall use this shilling to buy flowers and put them on your brother's grave. Maggie stood up. How can I ever thank you? She said, Goodbye. Remember to write. I got up and held her hand. Goodbye, Maggie. God bless you. I said. Maggie left. I wiped a tear from my eyes and went upstairs to pack my bags. तो डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स जो प्रोनाउंसिएशन अच्छी पिला ताकू तुम पेपर रे लिखि पकेबो काली आमे इंपोर्टेंट वर्ड्स लिखिबा बुझेला. सो थैंक यू वेरी मच. इफ यू लाइक दिस वीडियो देन प्लीज सब्सक्राइब दिस चैनल बुझेला. पिला माने 9th क्लास रो किंबा 10th श्रेणी रो वीडियो जदि तुमको पसंद आसुची देन ताहेले चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करो. ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच.